Have you ever noticed how some people seem to glow with life, no matter their age? Their faces are lined, yet their eyes shine with peace. They move slowly, but every gesture feels full of grace. And then there are others, exhausted, tense, aging faster than their years. Though they eat well, buy the best creams, and chase every new cure. The difference isn't in what they use, it's in how they live. Most of us are aging from the inside out, not because time is cruel, but because our minds never stop running. We rush through mornings, choke on stress, swallow our emotions, and forget to breathe. The body listens, it grows tired, the skin dulls, the heart tightens, the energy fades. We're trying to stay young while living in a constant fight with life itself. In Buddhist wisdom, aging begins not in the body, but in the mind that forgets how to be still. When the mind is calm, the years slow down. When the heart is light, the face shines. Monks in remote temples understand this truth deeply. They don't rely on medicine, luxury, or youth serums. Instead, they cultivate inner habits that preserve their life force, habits that purify energy, release tension, and awaken a natural vitality that radiates from within. And here's the secret the modern world has missed. Every thought, every breath, every daily act can either drain your life or renew it. True youth isn't found in a bottle. It's hidden in the way you think, move, forgive, and simply exist in this moment. By the end of this video, you'll discover 6 Buddhist habits that slow aging naturally, without fighting time, but by flowing with it. Now, let's begin with the first one, a habit every monk practices before the sun even rises, yet most of us have forgotten. Habit 1. Morning stillness, cultivating timeless energy. Youth fades when the mind wakes up in chaos. Most people open their eyes and are already racing, checking messages, worrying about the day, chasing the clock. Before their feet even touch the ground, their nervous system is already inflamed. The body begins to burn through energy not for movement, but for anxiety. And when that becomes your rhythm, wake, rush, repeat, your body forgets how to rest, how to heal, how to renew itself. That's how aging begins, not with wrinkles, but with inner exhaustion. In Buddhist temples, mornings are sacred. Long before the first light touches the horizon, monks sit in silence. No alarms, no screens, no caffeine rush. Just breathe. The sound of the wind, the rhythm of life itself is awakening. This is not laziness. It's the deliberate act of syncing the body with nature's pace. The mind becomes still, and the body follows. Cortisol drops, heart rate steadies, and the cells begin their quiet repair. A Zen master once said, "The dawn does not rush, yet everything blooms." The same is true for you. When you begin your day with stillness, you give your body permission to remember its natural intelligence, to heal, to balance, to glow again. Your mind stops fighting the day and instead begins to flow with it. There's a story told in a small temple in Japan about an elderly monk named Ryokan. Every morning for more than 60 years, he greeted the day with one breath. One full, mindful inhale, one slow, grateful exhale. No mantras, no rituals, just the sacred act of breathing. Villagers said his face looked like a child's, soft and radiant, even in his 80s. When asked how he stayed so young, he smiled and said, "I simply never wake up too fast." The truth is, your body remembers peace. It just needs you to stop interrupting it. When you wake up rushing, you send your brain a message. There's danger. But when you wake in silence, breathing slowly, your body receives a different command. You're safe. And when the body feels safe, It begins to repair what stress has broken. Blood flows better. Digestion improves. The heart beats more evenly. Youth is not restored by effort. It returns naturally when peace becomes your first habit of the day. Try this tomorrow. Before you reach for your phone, before you move your limbs, simply sit up in bed and take one deep, conscious breath. Feel the air entering. Feel the air leaving. Listen to the silence that follows. Notice the space between your thoughts. That space, that stillness, is where time stops counting. Every morning can be a rebirth. You don't have to escape your life to find peace. You just have to begin your day as the monks do, without noise, without rush, without resistance. For in that first quiet moment of dawn, your mind stops aging, your body begins healing, and your energy returns to its timeless rhythm. But stillness alone is not enough. You must also learn how to nourish your body with awareness. Habit 2. Mindful eating. Food is sacred energy. What you eat isn't just nutrition, it's vibration. Every meal you take is a conversation between your body and the universe. But most people don't listen. They eat while scrolling, rushing, arguing, or worrying. The stomach digests food, but the body cannot absorb peace in chaos. You may be feeding yourself calories, but starving yourself of life. In Buddhist monasteries, meals are silent. The monks don't speak. They bow. They lift each bowl with both hands, honoring the grains of rice, the soil, the sun, and the unseen labor behind every bite. Each spoonful is taken slowly, mindfully, like a sacred prayer. Because when you eat in peace, the food becomes peace. The body recognizes safety, the heart rate slows, digestion awakens. Nutrients are absorbed deeply, not hurriedly. This is not just spirituality, it's biology in harmony with stillness. Stress ages you faster than sugar ever could. When you rush through meals, your body prepares for battle, not nourishment. Stress hormones rise, inflaming your cells and clouding your energy. That's why monks who eat simply, even with very little, often appear radiant. They aren't feeding the body alone. They are feeding the spirit. There's a Zen story of a young disciple who once complained to his master, "Why do we eat so slowly? It takes forever." The master smiled and said, "If you cannot taste your rice, how will you ever taste your life?" The disciple fell silent. From that day, he ate in silence, and something extraordinary happened. His energy changed. He no longer felt drowsy after meals. His thoughts grew clearer. His face softened. He said it was as if time had slowed down with every bite. Gratitude is the body's most powerful signal of safety. When you silently thank your food, truly feel the warmth of the bowl, the fragrance of the spices, the effort behind every grain, you tell your body you are safe, and the body responds with healing. Muscles unclench, blood flows freely, cells repair instead of defending. The chemistry of aging reverses, not through magic, but through awareness. Even one meal eaten in silence can make your body feel 10 years lighter. Try it once. Sit at your table, no screens, no conversation, just the sound of your breathing and the gentle rhythm of eating. Feel the texture, the warmth, the act of being nourished. Halfway through, you'll notice something. The mind slows. The chaos fades. The body hums softly as if it's finally home. You see, mindful eating is not a diet, it's devotion. It's a way of remembering that your food is not just fuel, it's life itself, transformed sunlight, earth, and water merging into your flesh and spirit. Aging begins when we forget the sacredness of small acts. Youth returns when we remember that even a simple meal can be a form of meditation. Eat slowly, breathe between bites, Bow to the moment that feeds you, because every bite taken in peace rewires the body for longevity. Every silent meal is a quiet act of renewal. And after feeding the body, you must learn to unclench the mind. Habit 3. Letting go of grudges, the emotional detox. Nothing ages you faster than resentment. You can eat well, exercise daily, and meditate every morning. But if you carry bitterness in your heart, the body will still grow weary. Resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It tightens your jaw, knots your stomach, and keeps your nervous system in a constant state of alarm. Day after day, your body silently burns from within. In Zen, anger and regret are seen as heavy stones tied around the heart. You can't walk freely through life while dragging what's already gone. The past is a place you visit when you refuse to forgive. But monks understand a deeper truth. When you let go of what hurt you, you reclaim the energy that was keeping you stuck. There is a story told in Buddhist tradition. Two monks were traveling together and came to a river. A woman stood there unable to cross. The elder monk carried her across on his back, set her down gently, and continued walking. Hours later, the younger monk broke his silence and said, "I can't believe you carried that woman. We are forbidden to touch women." The elder monk smiled and replied, "I put her down hours ago. Why are you still carrying her?" That's what resentment is, carrying what was meant to be put down. Every argument replayed in your mind, every grudge you refuse to release, becomes another weight on your spirit. You think it protects you, but it only binds you to what you despise. The body reflects it, the tension in your shoulders, the fatigue in your chest, the dull ache behind your eyes. You're not tired because of your age. You're tired because you're carrying too much history. When you forgive, you don't excuse someone's behavior. You free yourself from being their prisoner. Forgiveness is not about the other person. It's about reclaiming your peace. In Buddhist wisdom, forgiveness is an act of cleansing. It's emotional detoxification. When you release anger, cortisol drops, the body's stress chemistry begins to settle, and your cells literally start to repair faster. Science now shows what monks have always known. Peace is anti-aging. Imagine what would happen if, instead of replaying old wounds, you whispered, "I release this story. Not I forget, but I'm done carrying this." The moment you say it, your body exhales. The mind untangles. The heart becomes light again. That's what freedom feels like. Not the absence of pain, but the absence of resistance. The greatest sign of strength isn't holding on. It's having the courage to let go. The body knows how to heal. It just needs space to do it. Every grudge you drop becomes a gift of energy returned to your spirit. So tonight, take one deep breath and ask yourself, what am I still carrying that doesn't belong to me anymore? Then let it go, not for them, but for you. Because youth doesn't come from keeping, it comes from releasing. And once the heart is light, the next habit keeps the body strong and young. Movement with awareness. Habit 4. Walking meditation. Moving without aging. Every mindful step reverses the rush of time. Most people walk to get somewhere, to finish something, to escape. But monks walk to arrive, here in this moment. Their steps are unhurried, steady, deliberate. Each one is a small prayer, a rhythm that brings body, breath, and earth back into harmony. In temples at dawn, you can hear it, the soft shuffle of robes, the sound of sandals brushing against stone paths, the breathing of peace itself. When you walk fast, Your mind races ahead of your body. But when you walk slowly, awareness catches up. The nervous system calms. The heart finds its rhythm again. The energy you use to waste in rushing is returned to you, quietly, like an old friend. Science might call it balance and oxygen flow, but monks call it grace. In Zen tradition, walking meditation is not an exercise. It's a way of remembering. You remember that the earth is holding you, that life is happening under your feet. Each step massages your organs, circulates energy, and regulates your balance. The breath deepens without force and your whole body becomes a moving temple. There is a saying by the Buddha, "Walk as if kissing the earth with your feet." When you walk this way, your steps grow light. The earth receives you with softness, and time, which usually feels like a thief, begins to slow its chase. There's a story about a group of visitors who came to meet an old monk in the mountains. He was 93 years old, yet walked up steep temple hills every morning without fatigue. When they asked his secret, he smiled and said, "I never walked to get there. I walked to be here." His skin glowed, his voice was clear, and his eyes shone with the brightness of a child. To him, walking wasn't about distance, it was about devotion. The slower you move with awareness, the more energy you conserve. This is the paradox of life in the fast world. People rush to save time, but in the rush, they lose life. The monks have discovered the opposite. Slowness gives them back what hurry steals. Youth, clarity, and calm are all hidden in the pace of the present moment. Try this simple practice. Take 10 mindful steps today, not as exercise, but as awakening. Walk without a destination. Feel the soles of your feet meeting the ground. Hear your breath match your stride. Notice how your body straightens, how your mind softens. You'll feel it, the body remembering its natural grace. You don't have to live in a temple to walk like a monk. You only have to remember that your feet are your teachers, always showing you how to return to the present, to your own center, to life itself. Every mindful step slows aging, not because you stop time, but because you stop running from it. And once you've learned to move with awareness, it's time to master the next secret, the mind you live with each day, and the thoughts that either age or heal you. Habit 5. Gentle thinking. Rewiring the aging mind. Every harsh thought leaves a wrinkle in the soul. We often believe that wrinkles come from the sun, from time, from age. But some of the deepest lines are carved not by years, but by worry, regret, and self-judgment. Every anxious thought tightens the muscles of the face. Every guilty memory stiffens the heart. And every time you tell yourself, "I'm too old," your body listens and obeys. In Buddhist wisdom, the mind and body are one garden. If the soil of the mind is filled with weeds of criticism and fear, how can the flowers of vitality grow? A Zen master once said, "Your face becomes the shape of your thoughts." When you see a monk's face, calm, radiant, untroubled, it's not because time has been kind to them, it's because they have been kind to themselves. Self-criticism is the most subtle form of violence. It's the dagger we hold against our own hearts. We don't even notice the harm because it hides behind familiar voices. "I should be better. I've wasted my life. It's too late now." Yet every one of these thoughts tells the body to brace, to shrink, to prepare for pain. Over time, this inner tension becomes fatigue, shallow breathing, and even illness. The monks have another way. They practice gentle thinking. Instead of fighting their thoughts, they soften them. When an unkind thought arises, they don't argue. They bow to it. They smile and quietly replace it. I'm old, Byanaha, becomes I am ripening. It's too late becomes this moment is still alive. I'm weak becomes I'm learning to be gentle. Each new thought is like a hand laid softly on the heart, and the body responds in kind. It relaxes, breath deepens, shoulders drop. You can feel the youth return, not as vanity, but as peace. Every kind thought is an elixir. Neuroscience now confirms what monks have lived for centuries. Gentle, loving thoughts literally reshape the brain. They strengthen areas of calm, weaken pathways of fear, and restore balance to the nervous system. When your inner voice changes, your chemistry follows. Cortisol fades, healing hormones rise, the immune system steadies. But even without science, you know this truth. You felt it before. When someone forgave you, or when you forgave yourself. In that instant, the whole body softened. That's how you know gentleness heals. There's a Zen story of a student who confessed to his master, "I'm a terrible meditator. My thoughts never stop." The master smiled and said, "Then be kind to the one who is trying." That night, the student stopped fighting. He simply whispered, "Thank you, mind, for trying to help me." Within weeks, his tension disappeared, and for the first time, he experienced stillness. Not because he silenced his mind, but because he stopped attacking it. When you think softly, your body believes you are safe, and safety is the root of all renewal. The cells repair, digestion deepens, and sleep restores the soul. Joy begins to reappear, not as excitement, but as quiet vitality, the most natural anti-aging force of all. So tonight, when an old thought comes, one that tells you you're too late, too tired, too old, smile at it. Replace it gently. Whisper to yourself, "I am still ripening." You'll feel something shift inside. The breath will lengthen, the chest will loosen, the face will soften. Because aging is not the loss of youth, it's the art of becoming tender. And when the mind has softened, there is one final secret habit that renews everything: the energy of gratitude. Habit 6. Evening gratitude, the regeneration hour. Sleep doesn't restore you. Gratitude does. You can sleep for 8 hours and still wake up tired if your mind goes to bed heavy. It isn't the lack of rest that drains you. It's the unfinished conversations, the regrets, the quiet resentment that you carry beneath the blanket. Most people close their eyes at night with tension still humming through their veins. But monks, they bow. Before sleep, in dim candlelight or beneath the moon, monks practice the ritual of 3 bows: to life, to self, and to the unknown. They bow to life for what it offered that day. Every smile, every difficulty, every impermanent breath. They bow to themselves for the effort, for staying on the path, even when weary. And finally, they bow to the unknown, to the mystery that tomorrow will bring, trusting it will unfold as it must. Gratitude is not a ritual of words. It's a release of resistance. Each bow tells the body, the day is complete. I don't need to hold it anymore. And when you do this sincerely, something magical happens. Your body shifts from defense to repair. The nervous system drops its armor, and the parasympathetic calm, the body's natural healer, takes over. This is when true rejuvenation begins. There's a story of an elderly nun who lived in a quiet monastery nestled among pine trees. At 86, her back was straight, her eyes bright, and her laughter filled the corridors. A young student once asked her, "Reverend Mother, how do you stay so young?" She smiled and said, "Every night before sleep, I give thanks for everything that tried to age me." She explained that when she first joined the monastery, She used to end her days in exhaustion and guilt, counting what she hadn't done, the prayers she forgot, the chores left unfinished. But one evening, her teacher told her, "Gratitude is the pillow of the wise. Rest your mind on it." From that night on, she stopped judging the day and started thanking it. Slowly, her exhaustion faded, her wrinkles softened, her spirit began to glow from within. "The body grows old," she said, "but gratitude keeps the soul young." Your final thoughts before sleep are the seeds of tomorrow's mood. When you fall asleep in gratitude, your body receives the signal, "I am safe, I am whole." In that safety, hormones rebalance, muscles loosen, and the mind releases the day's weight. Even your dreams begin to heal you. Try this tonight. Before lying down, take 3 slow breaths. Whisper, "Thank you for this day." Then recall 3 things: simple, real, and specific. A conversation, the taste of tea, the softness of a pillow. Don't force meaning. Just feel the quiet warmth that rises when you remember. Rest feels like healing, not escape. Because now you're not running from your day, you're honoring it. You're returning your body to its natural rhythm, the rhythm of trust. And trust is the deepest form of rest. When you wake, you'll notice something subtle. Your energy feels cleaner, your mind lighter. Gratitude doesn't just help you sleep, it rebuilds you in your sleep. It teaches your cells the language of peace. And these 6 habits taken together are not routines. They are a return to balance, to wholeness, to the timeless rhythm that has always lived beneath your rushing heart. Aging slows not through resistance, but through alignment. You cannot fight time and win. Every wrinkle, every breath, every passing season is part of life's choreography. The more you resist it, the faster it seems to chase you. But when the mind, body, and breath move as one, something miraculous happens. Time softens, life stretches. The years stop feeling like a battle and begin to feel like belonging. Monks have always known this truth. They do not chase youth. They embody timelessness. Their secret is not hidden in herbs or elixirs, but in harmony. Each breath, each step, each thought becomes an act of alignment. They rise with stillness, eat with mindfulness, walk with presence, forgive without hesitation, think with gentleness, and rest with gratitude. Stillness in the morning resets your energy. Mindfulness at meals reminds you that nourishment is sacred. Forgiveness unclogs the heart's flow. Awareness in each step brings grace back to movement. Gentleness in thought keeps your face light and your spirit soft. And gratitude at night completes the circle, returning your body to peace. Each habit is a thread, and together they weave a tapestry of ageless vitality. A Zen master once said, "When the mind rests in awareness, time cannot touch it." That is the essence of true youth, not found in a mirror, but in presence itself. When you live fully here, in this breath, in this exact heartbeat, you step outside the reach of years. Pause for a moment. Reflect. Which of these 6 habits is calling you most? Maybe it's the silence you've been avoiding each morning. Maybe it's the meal you'll finally eat without your phone. Maybe it's the forgiveness that's been waiting to unburden your chest. Whatever it is, start there. Not tomorrow, tonight. Because healing doesn't begin with more effort. It begins with more awareness. Youth is not lost with age. It fades only when you forget how to live presently. So breathe, soften, and begin again. The body will follow wherever the mind finds peace. Youth isn't a number, it's a frequency. You can have smooth skin and still feel old inside, Or you can have silver hair and radiate a light that makes people stop and wonder what peace you found. Youth is not measured by years, it's measured by vitality. Every time you breathe with awareness, forgive instead of fight, eat with gratitude instead of distraction, or walk in stillness instead of rushing, you tune your body back to the frequency of life itself. You don't need to chase youth. You don't need another supplement, another cream, or another promise of immortality. What you truly need is to return to simplicity, to slowness, to the sacred rhythm that's already waiting inside you. The body remembers how to heal when the mind stops fighting. The spirit remembers how to shine when the heart begins to soften. Aging doesn't have to mean fading, it can mean flowering. In Buddhist wisdom, the greatest beauty is not found in smoothness, but in serenity. Look at the monks whose faces carry 1,000 smiles and 1,000 storms. Each line on their skin tells a story of peace earned, not lost. When you live in harmony with your breath, your food, your movement, and your thoughts, time no longer defines you. You become timeless because you live fully here, in this moment. So tell me, which Buddhist habit will you begin today? Will it be morning stillness, mindful eating, or gentle forgiveness? Comment below and let this be your first vow toward peace. Share this video with someone who needs to remember that aging can be gentle. And subscribe for more weekly Zen-based teachings on natural healing, longevity, and inner freedom. May your breath be slow, your thoughts kind, your meals mindful, and your days timeless.